Or something like yourself, looking at it and just.
Yeah, because this is the confirmation number. But now,
Yeah, there's new, there's we'll have you send confirmation.
Yep. So, but all of your stuff's in there now.
Yeah, that makes it, especially.
You don't need my hotel? No.
But still, I just.
Well, let me just forward you mine, just so you have it. I don't know if they were gonna resend it though, just because we updated it. But now your email's in there, so any updates that they can do about it, you will get. I just have to get my
Yeah, your hotel room, yeah. You put it on the, Keller view until 25.
Yes.
How much you think that? The Luxor.
Tell me that it was $80 a night. Yeah. Yeah.
Who wants to stay in the
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here. I know, I'm hoping. I know, but I cancel it.
That's what it is.
Maybe they don't say it.
I don't think they will.
No,
Jacqueline, you're gonna get everybody in.
Thank you so much.
You're gonna miss you.
Your clicker works. You're the best. Disclaimer. Always look this way. Just a reminder, as everybody's coming in from the living room and getting ready to start, go ahead and turn off, if you have a computer or a cell phone that's going off the Wi-Fi, if you don't mind giving that a temporary shutdown. That helps as we get everything done. And then please silence your phone, and I will try not to stand in front of the camera, because then you would just see my face and not the screen. Come on in, come on in. Okay, we're starting. Officially. Official. Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Hey. Okay. In the back. Sheesh.
I should probably go get some water.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to have you all here with you. We love to start with some welcomes. So I would like to welcome Yvonne. Would you like to stand up and give a round of applause? And if I'm tell us how long have you been been in real estate or are you brand new?
I am completely brand new. I took classes here during the summer with Emily and Amy, and then passed my exam this October.
Nice.
I signed last Friday.
Congratulations! Love that, and very good hands. If you know Emily and Amy already, that's a very great place to start. So welcome, we're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Anybody else that has joined our team since the last time we did introductions? Or anybody that is about to take their exam? Everybody, send Melinda good vibes. She's getting ready to take her real estate exam, so send her all the best. She's going to be amazing as well. Oh, and welcome Jeff. We got you in. Are you here? No. Jeff just got through and got activated yesterday, so he is also brand new to our team. So he's been in real estate for a little bit and is joining us here at Metro. Welcome. Where'd you go? There you are, in the back. Come on up. For everybody that enjoyed a lovely bite of lunch today, perhaps a very good fortune cookie. You guys did good.
So, good afternoon, everybody. A few of you already know who I am because you see my face around this office from time to time. But I'm David Eastridge with Hawthorne and Albatross. We are your go-to investor here in San Diego. So whenever you guys have that fix or flip or that fixer property that needs some love or some TLC, just think of us. We'll run our numbers, do our due diligence, and have you represent us on the purchase side and then relist with you after we renovate it as well. So just think of us as a forever client, and we appreciate you guys allowing us to come and be an affiliate with this office. So thank you guys.
Awesome. The other thing, especially for you guys that are newer, just know that you have these options. It's just nice. I always think of these like tools in my tool belt. You never know what you're going to run into when you go out on a listing presentation or you're going out to speak with a friend that you don't even know had a real estate need. So just start to think about these things so you have them in your toolbox. Okay, we're doing something a little bit different for Gratitude Moment this week. How many of you actually have seen our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective before? Okay, so a handful have seen it. This is the core of who KW is, and we realized as a leadership team, maybe we haven't been talking about this as often as we used to. So we wanted to bring these things to life so you can actually see what they are. Instead of reading through the screen, we have these things for you. We want to make sure that you know and you understand. So for any of our agents who have been with us a while and understand that, does anyone have an example of something that you did that fits in our belief system? So for example, and you're like, look, this isn't going to be a win-win. You're going to lose as my client. Yeah, I would win, but you're not. Win-win, no deal. Does anybody have any examples? No examples. You have not been doing any work living by our beliefs. Anybody have an example of commitment in all things? Anybody that, I'll give you this whole last year, anything that you committed to that you really did that then showed up because you were truly committed to it? Yeah.
Yeah, my back is an absolute disaster, and I've been committed to stretching every morning, and I've been doing it, and it definitely helps.
Commitment, right?
Commitment.
It shows
Right?
up.
Yeah.
You commit to
I can
something,
stand
you
on
see
this
results. Standing is quality. I appreciate that. I will give you one of mine. This is going to come up again, so I can see that you guys are all just saving yours for next time. I'll bail you out and give you one of mine. What I will say is, for equity opportunities for all, there have been a lot of things happening this year, right? Rule changes, new forms, industry-wide changes. One of the things that I'm very passionate about is finding opportunities for all. So we have created new programs, we've created new mentors, we've created new things within the coaching program. And we're trying to make sure that there's always different opportunities for all, so that when an agent comes to us and they say, hey, I'm in this weird situation, that you've probably never heard this before. If funny thing is, we have that happen a lot, right? And we see these trends, and when we get more than one or two people saying, I know you've never heard this before, we create a program for that. So that is one of the things that we've done in our mentorship system. There's some things that Alicia's doing in her coaching program that are making me think about this. So that is something that I'm passionate about. So if you guys ever have something where you're like, I'm really the only agent, come talk to me, because you're probably not. The other thing in there is we have people diving into communities. So Sam, sitting up here, is running a Chispa event tomorrow, and this is why I wanted to share this one. And Chispa, Coalition of Hispanics for Progressive Action. It's a community across KW, and Sam is heading up all of California, which is not a small task. And the reason I wanted to bring that up, I know it's not on our slide today, but he posted about it on our Facebook group. Come see Sam after. It's tomorrow, if you're at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
He is hosting a call, and I'm just going to be honest, attendance matters because this is what helps him get his chapter launched. So if you're not doing something at 1 p.m., make sure you connect with Sam and get that, because it's a really important way for him to help build the community across the country. Anything you'd add, Sam?
Well, she's gonna add it to the slide, I think she did. But yeah, I already put I was going my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, everything she said, I already put the Eventbrite link on our Facebook group. So just feel free to just check it out, and then if you don't have anything to do tomorrow, what we wanted to, feel free to go ahead and join.
It's on Zoom.
Our Sarah is gonna be there, so she's one of the speakers.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Awesome. Bucket fills. Anybody have bucket fills? From Singapore for how long? 3 years. 3 years. She would wake up at crazy hours so she could attend things, and having her back for officially a week now, it is amazing. It is so fun. I've never gotten to work in person with Nancy, and it is so joyful to come in and to see her and work with her. It's always been fun, but it's different to get to work with you in person. So it's so nice to have you back.
I am back. I'm thrilled to be here. And I just ask for you guys' patience because some of you, I do know you by name, just not face. So if I haven't had a chance to come and introduce myself, my apologies. And as I continue to see you and introduce myself, I'm looking forward to meeting you and adding value also to your business.
And watch out, she's a prankster.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else would like to fill? Yes.
I want to thank Sherry Peters. I don't know if she's here today, but she is such a beautiful, kind human being. And one of these last days, she knew I was having a rough day, and she called me and she asked me how she could support me. And just that's exemplary of who we have here at this market center, and she's just wonderful. So thank you, Sherry.
I love that. Cool. Trainings and events. So for those of some of you already knew because you were here this morning, but Broker Bob is running Command Your Business every Wednesday at 11 to 11:45 a.m. Anything you want to share about that, BB?
It's a workshop. Bring your laptop and your phone and have your contacts imported into your database.
Yep. So for those of you that don't know, Command is a system you get when you join KW as an agent. So Command is your CRM, it is your design suite, it is all those things. So come do that workshop. Business planning clinic. Okay, how many of you, if I asked you what's your goal for 2025, you know your business goal? Like it's so clear in your brain. Okay, 2, 3 people, 4 people. And how many of you know that goal so well that you know exactly what you have to do every single month? 1 of the 4 people. 2 of the 4 people. Okay. So what I will say is, here's the other thing that your leadership team has been learning a lot. We used to make sure that everybody had your GPS and you're on track with your GPS. And I know Alicia and I have talked about this too. I don't know why some people have chosen not to do a business plan going into next year. It is vitally important so that you know if you're on track or not. Otherwise, sometimes I will speak of myself. I will sometimes do other things because I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing and I don't know if I'm ahead or behind my goals. So I will implore you that if you weren't one of those two people, everybody else should be in business planning clinic. This is one of the things that Ashley is incredibly gifted at teaching. Anything you want to say about business planning clinic?
No, last week actually was in Oklahoma, had 150 people in the class. Tomorrow we have 12. So, we will not take all day, most likely, but we have plenty of space if you want to come.
Yeah,
Is there any way we can do, like last time, you put a list of people, I don't remember if I registered or not, I think I did, but I
You
don't
did,
remember.
you're on the list.
I am, okay.
there you go. Awesome.
I remember because there were 12 names.
But everybody else come. I know a couple of you attended the last one that we had in October, but most of the faces in this room were not here when I was here at the last one. So I implore you, this is incredibly important for your business. Even if you're brand new, still come. We'll talk through how you set this up. So you don't have to be a super seasoned agent. If you are a seasoned agent, I would want you to come back because you're probably in a different place than you were the last time you did a business plan because the industry has changed. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Sorry. Oh, yes.
And there it is. So yeah, if you're not gonna be in Ashley's clinic tomorrow, be there. You can. We're gonna learn about the 3 ways to strive in 2025. Sarah and our other speaker, Simon, is from the South Bay area. They're also gonna be speaking about it. So feel free to join. Thank you.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder early, Sam. Oh, next Wednesday. So next Wednesday will be staff. It will also be our Thanksgiving potluck. So please bring a dish to share. That will be good fun and always the yummiest one of the year. Okay, all right. I'm going to turn this over to you because I know you have a video to play. So I will step out of the way and mark the date, December 12th at 3 p.m. for holiday party.
Hey guys, it's Bridget Patterson here, your culture chair. I'm so excited to finally be able to announce our holiday party, which you all know is December 12th, 3 to 6.
Here's the cool, I can't even wait anymore. Here's the cool thing about it. This is a gingerbread building competition. And Rick, you don't know this, but I'm a pro. I go way back. I'm talking Jimmy gumdrops, the M&Ms. I actually do the icing by hand, not through piping. I'm a pro, and I hope you are too.
Oh my gosh, Jason Abrams, this is so surprising and shocking and very unscripted. I had here first. So maybe we'll invite you to come to San Diego.
I don't know that I'll come to San Diego, but I might build mine and then send it, and I'm sure it'll arrive with perfect.
Now, if you guys want to know how you're going to win, I'm telling you the secret right now. All of our vendors are the judges. So if you have not sent our vendors any business, you've got just a few more weeks to do it to make sure you win. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry I can't be there, but obviously I'm a kid everywhere I with some of the best around the country. I'll see you all when I get back.
Yeah, so Bridget is out at Gary's Top 200 in Austin right now, so she couldn't be here to announce that herself, but I think it's a pretty darn good way to show up.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys December 12th at 3 gingerbread competition entries. What else do we have? Oh, market moment. Okay. I wanted to go through this quickly. NAR just released their 2024 buyer and seller survey, so I just wanted to bring a couple of important trends. The reason I wanted to bring it up today is for those of you that are going to be sitting in business planning clinic tomorrow, I wanted you to have this in your brain as you think about where you're going next year, what you might be changing, what you might be doing more of or less of as you business plan for 2025. So, and this is all available. If you go on NAR's website, there's a full survey there. I tried to just pull out sort of like the top 5 trends that I was seeing. So the first thing is first-time homebuyers is down. So we're down to 24% from 32% the previous year. Half of those people are rent. First-time buyers don't have the equity. The people that this is not their first time buying and they do have the equity, a lot of times they have so much equity that they're bringing a lot more cash to the table. So maybe they're not having to finance as much, so a higher interest rate may not be as big of a deal to them if they're not having to finance as much because they're bringing so much equity into this next transaction. So think about that as your business planning for next year. The other thing that is up is multi-generational home purchases. It's gaining traction. They're up to 17% of the market from 14% the previous year. So two primary reasons that people are looking into multi-generational housing. One is elder care, and two is adult children that have returned home, either because rent is too high, they're not able to buy on their own, so they're trying to save up for a down payment. But elder care and adult children are the two primary reasons for multi-generational purchases. So that is starting to see some traction upwards. Number 4 is that FSBOs is at a record low, down to 4%, down from 6% the previous year. People are saying that they really need a real estate agent in this moment, which is probably good news for everyone in this room, right? This is positive to take away. And the two things that they're saying, the reason that they really need a real estate agent, one is they need a source of information they can trust. You guys probably know, like, how many freaking emails do you get in a day? Yeah, okay, a lot, more than like 5, right? Okay. It's hard to sort through all of that. One of the things they're looking at you as real estate agents to do is to sort through all this noise that's out there and bring them the information they need in the moment. And the other thing is vendors, which you guys heard from David, you guys hear from our vendor partners all of the time. Having those people at your fingertips and as a part of your team and speaking about them as part of your team is something that is giving you leverage in this market. So just knowing who you've got on your team, all those vendor partners that we connect you with or that you have built those relationships with, that's incredibly important right now. That's one of the other things that people are looking for out of their real estate agents. And then lastly, no kids. 73% of home buyers did not have a child under the age of 18. That's the highest share on record. So there's 2 things that were happening in that stat. And again, go read, it's actually interesting. Go dive in more for more details. One of the pockets is what they're calling SINKs, single income, no kids, has gone up. 20% of those buyers were single women, about 8% were single men. But you're finding more households that are single income that are now finding a way in. The average first-time home buyer age has now gone up to 38, so they are also older, but that is a growing demographic. And then additionally, of the people that are buying as couples, there are also more that are buying without children.
What are those called?
Sinks. Dual income, no kids. And then there's stinks with a dog. But it's interesting, and I think part of what gets interesting about this is, are you able to market properties in a new way, right? You don't have to necessarily be in the best school district. Maybe there's other things about your property, but it hopefully will open up your brain as to who actually can buy. It's not just one traditional type of person anymore. There's a lot of variety there. So those are some of the trends. Wanted to bring you guys that before you go into business planning clinic tomorrow. Keep that in your brain. Oh, escrow partners. Christine, you're here. Wait and say hi to everybody.
Hi.
You guys, that's Christine at the back. Escrow partners is now, for those of you that haven't come into the office, they're still getting furniture in. We're still working on that. By the end of the year, we'll be fully moved in, but they are there and working. If you have any escrow questions, please come see Christine or just come say hi and introduce yourself. She will get you net sheets. She's very fast and efficient at getting all of those out to you. Pre-opening escrow, all the things.
Everything, just come in and say hi.
Yeah. So just down the hall, you skip the lawyers, and then the next one over is escrow partners. They're in 201.
If you need to fax anything too, you can fax with them. Yes. We can scan an email for you too,
And we would like to recognize Kareen. Congratulations, Kareen. We just saw that Kareen opened escrow with us on a very cool property. So congratulations, we are excited for you. Coach Alicia?
So Ruben just opened escrow with a buyer. He's been licensed for a while, but he just partnered with Keller Williams this year, and this is his first one opening with Metro.
Yeah, Ruben is the buyer, by the way.
I didn't want to say that.
I'm not doing as well, sorry. So, you guys, sorry. So, you guys, I always love to add a little value into your life. This is an updated report that MBS Highway is the software that we use to track all of our interest rates for treasuries, for the S&P 500, for MBS backed treasuries. We're constantly watching this when the market's moving, so we know when to lock in, but they provide us with amazing reports, this being one of them that I handed out to everybody. Maggie, I don't know if you got one. Steph, I don't know if you got one either. So, this is a cost of waiting report, you guys, and I can customize this for absolutely anybody. This actual report helped me get into escrow. He's been pushed off buying a house for 2 years, and I'm like, look at how much you lost. I'm like, can we just do the math here for a second? And what they've done now is they've taken a look at where your purchase price is now, and where, based off of the appreciation levels that we've seen historically, or what the projected appreciation levels are here. I'm using 4.25%, which is really low, right? So 4.25%, you're looking at buying a $900,000 plus home, $40,000 a year. That's not a bad side gig, right? Not doing anything except paying your mortgage, right? So look at over the next over 1 year, you would have lost that $40,000. Okay, the property would have appreciated that $40,000. What would have happened to your payment? Rates should come down. They will. They keep going up and down, but we do get these little pockets where we can refinance people, and we have these mini little refi booms, right? And at least we've had a couple of them so far. So the payment difference, you guys, on something like this, $300, right? If it goes down by 1% over the next year, $300. So what it does is at the very top, it's calculating what your appreciation is for that property. It's calculating, okay, so I'm paying $300 more now to own this property, but I'm gaining that appreciation, right? So it's tabulating that up. So over a year, you're paying $3,600, and then we're saying, okay, let's say a refi costs $4,000, right? Let's take all that out of the equation. You've now lost $31,000 by not moving now when you could have moved, right? A lot of people just need to see this, visualize it, and understand it and absorb it. Like, it's so conceptualized when, like, you're talking about big numbers and stuff like that, and like you're like, oh yeah, sure, I lost $30,000. But then you actually look at it, and it breaks down right in front of you. On the back page, you can see all the numbers. But this really helps people get over that hump. And I don't know about you, but I've been having a lot of humps I've been having to get over, like to convince people to buy a home, right? But having the numbers in front of them really helps, and it's something that we can do for you guys anytime you need it. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Even if I'm not doing a loan for you, I don't care. I just want help. So just hit me up, and I'll get you one of these for your client. Take care.
Anybody has property pictures, we're gonna ask you to put them on Facebook as we bring the DV up, unless somebody wants to stand up and do one real quick.
Anybody want to stand up?
Stretch. Use the wiggles out.
Hey, Vicky,
Yes.
did anyone mention it's Vinny's birthday today and it was wrong policy yesterday?
I know, and it sounds good too. Let's see what the party was. How's everybody day? How's everybody been the past week?
That's a difference.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that today, in a good light. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some new laws that are coming out you need to be aware of. And we'll talk about steering. And if we get to the changes in the contract documents in December, we'll cover that. All right, does that sound exciting? Riveting news.
Super exciting.
Riveting news. But first, it's the Robert Schantz promotion. So who came to our Know Your Value
How do I know?
class?
How do I know if it's?
Okay, so that was a 4-hour class that I put into an hour and a half. And so what I decided to do was expand it and now teach 2 separate classes about knowing your value, but bring in the buyer representation and the seller representation. So I have 2 classes coming up where I'm going to help you with your consultations with your buyers and consultation with your sellers. So this is the promotional materials that are coming out. It's on Facebook. If you want to go pre-register, you can. All this will also be sent out in the PDF after the meeting. You can click on that link there if you want to register on the event, right? But I'm going to start with sellers first, because why do I want to start with sellers?
Focus on sellers, but that's what we want.
We want more sellers. We want more sellers. And then the next class will be in December, and it's an hour and a half, and we'll go deep dive into the buyer consultation on some language patterns that you'll use during that to know your value and to help you get that buyer broker signed at 3%, at least minimum 3%. So come to those classes. Again, this link, the CAR most common Q&A that I post on Facebook. I haven't posted much lately because we've kind of got through the NAR settlement pretty well, but whenever there's something that's important, you'll see that. I'll post on Facebook with the hashtag broker advice, but then I store it on this document so you can go through there at your time that you want to spend some time reading to help fall asleep. So there is an upcoming live legal webinar with CAR, and you can always register for that at car.org/risk management/live. This one's December 10th. This will be a deep dive into all the new forms that are being released in December. We're going to cover a little bit of those today, so you're up to speed on that. But all the documents that they changed for the NAR settlement will now be revised just a little bit. Reason being is now that we've had 5-6 months in the field of working with them, they've realized how the documents need to be enhanced, especially the BRBC and the RLA and RPA. So they'll have that webinar to cover all those changes. I'll cover a little bit of them today. They will be changed. I believe the date is going to be like December 16th. And I think that maybe after that, December 24th. But next month's risk management meeting, I won't be able to cover it because I have a special presentation happening that day for risk management. So we won't be able to cover new laws, which is why we're doing it today. All right. Is the party over?
Over.
Good. Was it fun? No cocktails? So here's what we're going to kind of cover today. I'm going to talk about the buyer representation agreement that is now going to be law in California, effective January 1st, but how that's different than the NAR settlement. I'll review the balcony inspection law. That's been changed a little bit. And then I'll just highlight a few of those other things that aren't that important, but I just want you to be aware of. Okay, so who's all aware, show of hands, of AB 2992? You read the bill backwards and forwards, you know when it's passed, when it takes effect. You know what it's about, right?
No.
So what is AB 2992? Well, it has nothing to do with the NAR settlement about now every buyer you work with has to work under a buyer broker. However, it goes in tandem with that. So CAR was getting ahead of what was happening with the NAR settlement because they knew that we were going to be at a place where every buyer you work with has to be under buyer broker agreement. And so, of course, we're in California, right? What does California like to do?
Make laws.
Make laws, make more laws for you guys and more paperwork. So this is effective, and it doesn't supersede the NAR settlement. So, but there are a few changes you need to be aware of and the differences between the two. So what does it apply to? Well, it applies to real property, 1 to 4 units, in a single family or condo or planned development, multi-unit residential property with more than 4 dwelling units. On the NAR settlement, it didn't apply to that. So if you're in a commercial team and you're selling 5 units or more, you have to have people under buyer broker. Commercial property, vacant land, lease coupled with improvements, and a manufactured home or mobile home and offered for sale through an agent pursuant to blah, blah, blah. It does not apply to leases and rental agreements. state or federal land, or loan brokering services. By the way, back to leases and rental agreements. Remember the broker rule we discussed last month?
Don't do it.
Don't do it, thank you, don't do it. You can take a lease listing, put it in the MLS, but that's it. You can't do anything else beyond that. So the terms that must be included in the agreement, which is currently what's happening right now with the VRBC, is it has to have a buyer's agent compensation. That would be the amount that you want to charge the buyer. And what should you be charging your buyer?
3%.
Okay, why do you want to charge 3%?
Because you can always modify down.
You can always modify down, but you can't modify up.
Right.
Unless you do a modification of terms for that one specific property alone. But I really want you to start getting in the habit of 3%. What are you guys seeing in the field with agents offering compensation?
A lot of twos.
A lot of twos.
A lot of twos?
Well, buyers are requesting, I've seen 2.5 and 2. And my sellers have accepted 2.5 and 2. So I haven't seen a 3 yet.
Okay. So
On either side.
I signed 3, but I don't get it.
you sign 3, but you don't get 3, because you can still go down. You just can't go up. Because if you did it at, let's say you did it at 2, and the seller is willing to offer 3, that 1% stays with the buyer if they choose to.
Right.
You can't get it.
Do we have to tell them that?
Yes.
Just kidding.
It has to describe the services that are being rendered. So the VRBC does that. And when it's due and the date of expiration. So who knows how long you can have a VRBC good for?
3 months.
3 months. 90 days. You guys got this. You're good. Oh, it's right there. 3 months. The thing on renewals, though, they cannot last longer than 3 months from the date the renewal was made. And then any renewal must be in writing, must be dated and signed by all parties to the agreement. And a buyer represent agreement shall not renew automatically. So hopefully you are all getting your buyer broker agreements uploaded into Command in an opportunity, because NAR settlement mandates that the MLS make sure that you have them. Yeah, it's a waste of their time. If you want to appease them, go ahead and do ask that.
They have to
Yeah, just go ahead and give it to them. But there's been no word on whether or not that's will be enforceable, so we're waiting to see on that. But
And that's an indication too that that listing agent, it may, how, working with them, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing time requests.
What's that?
Showing time requests.
Oh.
They don't request that you show it, but they request that you have it.
There, and then it says.
Showing time is requesting it?
Yes.
Okay.
That you have it.
Yeah, they tell you at the end.
You just have to check it. Yeah. So here's something too I want to note on this AB 2992. Buyer broker representation agreement will be required as soon as practicable, meaning when do you get it signed? Now, in the NAR settlement, this is what it states, as soon as practicable. When should that be?
Before showing the property.
Before showing a property. Now, the DRE, because of this new law, AB 2992, they haven't ruled yet on what practicable is yet. And now, because Mike's shaking his head, he's getting it. AB 2992 is now under the purview of the DRE. What does that mean?
Now there's been confusion with the interpretation, because some people think that you don't need to get it signed before.
No. Whenever it's under purview of the DRE, my butt's on the line. And I need to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, that you do have your buyer broker agreement. Because now it's mandated by law. The NAR settlement was just a global settlement. This is actually now a law. And so there's probably going to be much more scrutiny. By the way, so as I shared last time, I got tagged twice last year for broker supervision because I didn't supervise you properly. Well, long story. So guess what Broker Bob has implemented in his practice is a broker communication log to show that I supervise. So if you've ever gotten, like if you ever get an email from me that looks like, God, he's being such a, it's only because I'm covering my tracks now. Because I don't want them to say, well, no, you did not, I did supervise them. Here's this email that I sent to them on such and such date.
Use more emojis.
So it has nothing to do with you. It's just more laws that I have to now make sure that I'm supervising you that you're following. That's all it is. It has nothing to do not liking you. I support you 100%, but I've got to cover my butt too with the DRE. Okay? The other thing to highlight on this law is the agency disclosure. So that's the AD form that's at the very front of the BRBC. So this will probably be more information to come as soon as practicable is. But did y'all know, when are you supposed to have the agency disclosure signed?
The same time as the BRPC?
Before.
Maybe.
Before talking,
Before.
that's the first thing, consultation.
You guys remember that on your exam? Forgot that part at the end. You're supposed to get that signed at your initial meeting, regardless if they sign the BRDC. That's when you're supposed to disclose what agency is in the state of California and what it is at your initial meeting, regardless of what the outcome of that meeting is, legally, okay? Otherwise, if you don't, that BRBC can be void and unenforceable.
You know, what's interesting, Robert, is I actually had a buyer consult, and it ended up not ending in an agreement. And she reached out to me and she asked me for a copy of that signed AD, which thank goodness I did it, so I was able to pass. I don't know if she was testing me or if she really wanted it, or I don't know what it was.
So what does void and unenforceable mean?
So good.
Means you won't get paid.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. It means you won't get paid. So I guess I'll change that and add that. You won't get paid if it's void and unenforceable. Now you'll probably see a lot of buyers sign multiple BRBCs out there. Are any of you seeing that?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. How should you practice your business moving forward when you meet with a buyer? What should you be asking them?
If they've signed.
Well, you know that, Ashley. I'm asking them. Yes.
So I have one situation just like that now. I met somebody at the event and she used to work with somebody, that guy disappeared. So now we're trying to work together. Matt is involved. She was in escrow with that agent, but she says, I don't remember signing any kind of the agreement. But once they were in escrow, would that mean that they have the agreement? I was so confused because she was like,
I don't know. You're asking the case. I can't give you an answer for because I haven't seen all the documents. I can tell you this.
But you signed the RP when you sent, I mean, no. Did they have to have that as a part of it?
I can tell you this. I can't answer your question because I don't have all the information. I can say this. If a buyer signs multiple BRBCs, they are the ones that can be liable to pay both brokers. And you don't owe them at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
So get in the habit of asking everybody that you get signed. We haven't had it yet, thank God. But void and unenforceable is not the same term I would use right now, but you won't get paid. You might not get paid if they've signed another deal. You might get, am I gonna pursue someone for a commission that's owed us? That's again, something I have to look on a case-by-case basis. Okay? Oh. So in other words, AB 2992, this is the fun part that's enforceable by the DRE, subject to discipline. That's the scary part.
And when did that become law?
January 1st of 2025.
Oh, it will be.
So it's taking effect January 1st. This came up, so the balcony inspection deadline was extended, but it does not apply to condo associations, meaning this is for resale condos that are still being marketed, they still have to have their inspection done by January 1st of 2025, and the repairs done within 4 months. So when they say it's not for condo association, what they're doing is they're extending the balcony deadline for investor condos that have rentals in them. Investor apartments that have rentals in them. So condos still, if you're representing a seller or you're buying one, the condo has to have their balcony inspection done by January 1st and the repairs done within 4 months. Are you seeing a lot of those being done out there with the apartments you're showing?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you seeing, Chris?
I mean, I showed a condo in Winda Vista, and when we got upstairs and opened the door, the whole balcony was gone. Yeah, it was nothing. Yeah, it was way easier.
Well, you
There
better
was the outline
seal
of
the
the
door.
balcony, but
Oh my gosh.
there was no, and they had caution.
Did you like your buyer?
Well, they freaked out.
I would just put them out. Go see the balcony.
They really freaked out, and I was like, "Don't worry, that's actually a good thing because they're fixing it. This is what they're supposed to be doing." But I mean, when I walked in, I mean, it was just like a one-bedroom condo. There was caution tape all over like someone got murdered on there. But it was kind of funny. I laughed when I saw it, but I was like, "Well, at least they're getting it done."
But Ashley, inventories on condos are still up 25%?
That and prices are down, but if all that work has to be done by May, we'll rebound within 12 months of that.
So buy your condos now, people.
That's
Yeah,
a good selling
th-
point right
this
now
is
for these buyers. If
Value
you've got
add
people
property
looking for a
right now.
condo right now, you should be telling those stats. Inventory's up, sales are down, which means sellers are desperate. So you can get a good deal right now. Let's talk about steering. Who knows what steering is? Who wants to describe it?
Steering is when you are specifically kind of asking pointed questions in the direction that you kind of want the conversation to go, and you're steering your clients to specific neighborhoods that you think that they would like.
Okay, good. Get the gold star.
Is that-
But now they're steering in compensation for buyers brokers based upon what commission that the seller says that they might be offering. And this is what brokerages and brokers are worried the most, that could be the next class action suit. So if you're calling and doing your showings and you're asking the question, by the way, is the seller open to compensation? Hopefully they're saying yes, and hopefully they're telling you how much they are. But if they're saying, well, no, they're not, and you elect not to put that in the buyer search, you could be guilty of steering. So this is just a concern. I just bring this out just to prepare you. Just don't show your properties based upon whether or not the seller is offering commission or won't be offering commission. Yes.
Can you, if you have the conversation in email with your client, if they say, I don't want to, if the seller isn't willing to help with the compensation, I don't want to see it. Is it okay to leave it out at that point? Okay.
As long as you have something in the email to back that up, to show. And then remember the box on number 5 on the BRBC where it says I'm unable to pay. If you have that box checked, that helps you too. But then you follow it up on an email, just so you know, just to remind you, this is the conversation we had today. You elected not to look at any homes where the seller's adamant about not offering compensation.
We shouldn't even be asking though the other agent anyways. Before, like, I'm getting calls on my listings all the time, like, what are you offering? I'm like, well, it's just another negotiable term, just like the price, but we shouldn't even be asking when we're going to go show properties if that's even an option.
And this is the thing, I've heard of situations where the seller is supposedly not offering or saying that they're not offering, and then a buyer submits an offer, maybe they're not getting any offers, who knows, but they've actually ended up paying the buyer broker, even after saying no.
Should be something you even ask to begin with.
But what if my buyer says, I don't want to even bother if they don't want to help me out?
Well, you won't know that until you write an offer. I mean, they might even want the property, so it's like everybody's getting way too ahead of themselves.
Right,
And-
exactly. It's our duty to show it and like. do our best
Show the
for
property. If they
Well,
want it.
we're fine, yes, we're well trained. It's the other.
Well, there's a lot of new people in this room, and I don't want anybody to think that you should call and ask when you're going to show a property.
It's the other agents on the outside
Yeah.
that we have to worry about.
I thought it was just a little vague just now that that was an option to be asking people on the phone, other agents, about what they're offering, and it shouldn't even just be, vocabulary.
It is, it's a negotiable term. Okay? Just like the price. Can you click on the draft update?
And I try to make it as transparent as possible to help avoid people feeling the need to call me, just because it is what it is, but.
We'll go down. So this is the draft. But it's item E2 is new, seller willingness to consider concessions. This is just concessions. This isn't anything about buyer broker compensation. So if they want to offer a buyer concessions, that's where this box is about. I'm gonna go down. That's it. Now go to the next. Oh, no, yeah, go to the next slide. Draft updates on the RPA. Great thing is SPBB form. Guess where it's going? In the trash can. Yes, you no longer will have to fill out an SPBB and attach it to the offer. It's actually going to go down a little bit. It's going to be now within item G. So this is where you clarify the commission that you have in your BRBC.
So we still give the page 5 of the BRBC, yes?
So you give, page 5 is what you give them. I've had some people requesting the entire BRBC. I've had escrows request the entire BRBC.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. If they want the entire BRBC, just scratch out the private information like email or mailing address.
So no longer with the SP.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good thing. Next slide, please. And then the BRBC draft update. Go to the next red section. Keep going down. Where did we go? Go back up. We passed it.
It's on the first page. Oh, on the first page. There. Again.
Right there. And then this we discussed, this is a new G2. Buyer needs seller's help to pay buyer. So in other words, if you check this box, buyer does not have sufficient funds, which means then you have the conversation about whether or not, well, do you want me to show you properties that they're not offering? But you shouldn't be excluding that. You should still be showing them if they want to see it. Just be careful because that could be steering. Okay.
Okay. That's super straightforward. Just be careful that before you show a house, you don't breathe too long.
So I like this little chart right here because since probably April, was it May of 2020? COVID hit? March. Has the world seemed like it's just kind of like out of control?
Yeah.
And I believe next year is going to be even more out of control because we'll have a new administration, but you know what? Who cares? And as we go into this next year, the market will be the market, the industry will be the industry, people will still need to buy homes, people will still need to buy houses. What I want you to do is think about your own personal world, about what that looks like. And anything that's on the inside of the circle is something that you can control. You can control your own decisions. You can control the amount of effort you put into your business, your words, your actions, how you treat others, whether or not you follow the rules, and how you handle your feelings, and how you take care of yourself. And even more so now, I think you need to be armed with this right now. Mel Robbins, who was keynote address speaker last year, and I've been listening to her pod. She's got a new book coming out. I'm really excited about it. It's called Let Them. And she sped up the timing of this book because of the election, because she feels the world is in crisis, not just us, but the world. And she thinks, I believe where we're going the next few years is for more self-empowerment, self-reflection, self-perception about my world is how I can create it rather than having an outside, elected official or someone else control it for me. You can choose to buy in it, you can choose not to buy in it. My preference is to worry about the stuff I control. And so, new and you get into your Facebook and scroll, you limit those happy emotions that you have for the rest of the day. So I'm practicing the art of getting rid of all my social media feeds, probably take Facebook and Insta off my phone, I'll use it for business on a computer, and create the world I want to live in. I have friends on both sides of the spectrum, the political spectrum. I have family on the other side, and I still love each and every one of them. And I think her book is going to help people realize what world that they can create by the thoughts they have and the actions they take.
Whoa.
God has spoken. So my philosophy moving forward is only worry about the things I can take care of today, and everything else is just going to be immaterial. If someone doesn't want to work with me, great, go find someone else. If that last transaction didn't close, there's more to go get. What's their perception and what's our perception, and come to a meeting of the minds to try and seek an agreement. And I believe that's probably where we're going in this world, where if people just take the time to sit and speak to each other, have a conversation. And Joe, I hope you don't judge me. We're different sides, but we have a really good friendship. Because we're bonded by what, football?
49ers.
49ers. Tell me what your son said.
Oh, he's a Chiefs fan. For some reason, he's.
How old's your son?
8.
8.
He turned 8.
He's a Chiefs fan. What did he say the other
He
day?
said, what, Chiefs rule, Niners drool? Like, really, dude? Make him start paying rent or something.
There's more that connects us than separates us. You've heard that, it's overused. But I truly believe that. And I think for us to get through the next whatever's coming, and my spiritual advisor has said that 2025 is going to be really bad, but it's going to get better. Because you have to tear things down to build things up. And if we keep this in mind and look at this every day and worry about only the stuff we can control, rather than trying to control that other agent or our MCA or a broker or a team leader,
Speak for yourself.
we'll have a happier world.
I'm also going to say this is brilliant, and find a place to have more grace for each other, because this is brilliant that you're sharing this, Robert, and you have this nailed except in the moments when you don't. Except in the moments I don't, and those moments may become more frequent. So just be graceful with each other.
And yourself.
Yeah, and yourself.
Take the time to stop and take some breaths before you react. And many times as broker, this is my role when I get involved with two agents that are at each other's throats. That I've got to pull them off of each other. So being broker has taught me this strategy of how to deal with agents that are emotional about a transaction. I get it, because it's their livelihood. But for you, my recommendation is you will probably a little positive.
It also cuts the traffic.
We've had so many transactions.
Oh, road rage?
Yeah, there's
Diana used to say, you know what, wish them well.
Yeah.
Maybe they have an important event they got to get to.
Yeah.
And maybe they saved you from an accident. You don't know.
Exactly.
All right.
Listen, be careful.
What do we do? We got a giveaway.
We have a giveaway, you guys see, what's out of your control. This is out of your control, okay? So, check this out. Check under your seat, because two of you have a prize today.
On your chair?
Car keys.
No cap.
You get over.
No wonder.
It's the